Is piggybacking really an issue at hand? At the Pennsylvania State University, they have a strict no piggybacking policy. Piggybacking is the act of swiping one's ID card in order to unlock an entrance into a residence hall. While the door is unlocked, another person is granted access and walks in without having to swipe. The university has the ID security system in place to provide a safe way for students to get in and out of dorms. This protects them from theft, intruders, and other unwanted residents. In order for a non-resident to get inside of the residence hall, they must be escorted by a resident of the hall they wish to access. This makes the resident come down to the door, open it for the visitor, and then go all the way back up to the dorm or destination they wish to arrive at. This security system is used on all dorms across campus. It covers most safety aspects, but it also has many flaws to it. The first flaw is that it is easy to get around by piggybacking the person accessing the door in front of you. The second reason is that when the system is in place and used properly, there is a significant waste of time in between when you are waiting for your peer to come open the door and when you are actually going up to the room. And lastly, it is flawed because there is a large number of floors in most residence halls, which makes it very timely for the person who has to come down and retrieve the visitor. Because of these reasons, there needs to be a change in the system. In a survey I conducted, there were a large number of students that agreed with what I said. When I asked my peers how many times they visited another residence hall in the average day, the average number reported was about 2 times. In addition, I also asked how important the issue was from a scale of 1 to 10. The average number reported was just under a 7. This may not seem like that big of a deal, but keep in mind that this situation is occurring every day. There is definitely a large number of students that think this is an issue at Penn State. I went on to ask more students about whether or not they would be interested in a new buzzer system, which would make it easier and safer to grant access to non-residents entering the halls. This system would involve a microphone that allowed residents to talk to visitors who are trying to access the building. If the visitor got approved to come in, then the residents would grant temporary access to the person that is trying to access the building. Here's what the students thought.
I feel like the buzzer system would be a lot more efficient than the swipe system.
Of Luke to come up with this idea. I think it would save me a lot of time to watch more Netflix, get some more studying done, and a couple more minutes of sleep.
With my new system in place, it would give students the ability to safely access all halls with the permission of those in it. It would save the time of the visitor and the resident from having to walk down and retrieve them. On average, the time wasted for the person visiting due to the current system was approximately 3 minutes and 27 seconds. This is a substantial amount of time for such an everyday occurrence. One big issue that the old system has in place is that it is easy to overcome. I asked students what their concerns are for safety and the issues with intruders.
One of my main safety concerns here in McElwain Hall is the piggybacking issue, and if anyone ever wanted to get in the building, they can whenever they need to.
Overall, there is a concern with safety and the system in place. With my new system, there would be no need to piggyback. In this day and age, there is also a concern with guns. If a person with a firearm wanted to get into the residence hall, they could easily piggyback and get into the building. With the new system, it would eliminate piggybacking by having a strict no piggybacking system. This would be implemented by having a shorter window of opportunity to get into the building, so only one person could grant access at a time. So unless you are specifically granted access, there would be no way of getting into the residence hall. This would solve the problem and make it more efficient for all students in the future. This is clearly the better option to have in place, but the one problem is feasibility. In order for this idea to become a reality, I would need to find a way to get a button to remotely unlock the door from 2 access points on every floor of the hall. I asked the McElwain coordinator, Marcus Toomer, and he said that could become a possibility. This blend could be put in place and would be very effective for future students. Overall, this process would be safer, more effective, and is very feasible to achieve. There is less risk of intruders, and there is a large number of students that are behind the idea that are ready to support such an action. This would save around 1,750 minutes just waiting around each year for every student on campus. With this time, they could be doing something more important and valuable than waiting on people to get them.